Today's project is, I mean,
cute.
like, so we took inspiration from some designer bags.
Yeah.
So some of my favorite designer bags, let me just say. The hand-painted version of these designer bags. And if you know designer bags, like you know where we got it from. And I don't even know that should we say like,
Sure.
So like we got inspiration from the hand-painted like Louis Vuitton bags because I loved how they had the blocking on the outside, like the colors, the blocking, go get it. The colors and the blocking and the monogram, my favorite. So I'm absolutely obsessed with this. And y'all, you can do this with your Cricut. You can do this with your Cricut.
And we're gonna show you how today.
Yes.
It is like initials.
Yes.
And so where they're all the same height, we did our initials in like first, middle, last instead of monogram order. But the colors that we chose, I'm pretty obsessed with. Now,
matches are little.
Yeah, I don't know that those are like Louis Vuitton colors.
No, you can like pick your own colors. I think when you get them like hand painted, but I just really love these colors together. And
this burlap bag is huge and sturdy and awesome, and that's from Amazon, linked below on YouTube.
We love it.
It's so fun.
And this is one that I think is going to be an absolute amazing like Christmas gift.
Yes, birthday gift.
Birthday gifts.
If you're going on like a bachelorette trip.
Oh my goodness.
Matching bags.
Me personally, I would rather someone get me this and get like just small little things to put in it as a gift and like one, you know what I'm saying? Like I love bags, first of all. I love bags. But anyway, this is would be an amazing Christmas gift, and Courtney's gonna teach you how to do, and I don't know, you all can't see, and I'll show you, everybody will be able to see here in just a second, like how to do this offset with these letters. It's phenomenal. We love it.
This is what we're making. You can see it here on TikTok too. We love this. The colors we chose, I'm just obsessed with them. Okay, so let's go kind of over the supplies you're gonna need. We have our mini Easy Press, which is our favorite press to use on basically all of our HGV projects. To go along with that, we have a pressing pillow. This is very important for this project. I was trying to do it without the first time, and it is very needed, especially for this bag where there's like bumps and lumps inside. Okay, then we have 3 colors of HGV. You can pick your own colors. These are the colors that we have. I know this is navy, white, and I don't know the name of this, but some kind of like teal color.
I don't want to call it cerulean, but it's kind of
I've never even heard of that word.
You've never
Cerulean?
Cerulean blue.
Cerulean. No, I've never heard of that. That's very fancy. My project. And we'll you can go over to Design Space and show them what we're going to work on. I don't think I have my font downloaded, so I need to go and see what font it is. Okay, font is Vanessa, people. Sorry, we're regrouping. Over here in Design Space, you can see what our end result is. Like our desired result in Design Space is right there. I'm going to show you all the steps of how to get there. But first, let's go on to makersgonnalearn.com and find the font Vanessa, because I don't think it's installed on this computer.
Did it show up that it wasn't?
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We've downloaded that. Now we're installing it. Looks ready to go. Then we're going to go back into Design Space if we can find it here at the bottom. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to View, Force Reload. All right, now we're going to go overhead, I think. And if we have a tape measure, which we do.
I'm going to move these people over just a little bit too. Make
They're
sure.
They're going to be really bored when I'm in Design Space. They can't see it at all.
I wonder if I could move it around.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll try that.
So we're measuring our bag width-wise. We've got 18, and height So I want to be a little bit more particular about my height because I don't want my HTV down here. So, oops. Our height is going to be 13 point, what's the dash between a quarter and a half?
Between a quarter and a half?
Yeah.
3/8.
13 and 3/8. Okay, now
should be 13.
Go into design space.
375.
That sounds very right. Okay, we're gonna grab our rectangle, and we do this for almost every project that we make here at Maker's Gonna Learn. So the width we measured as 18, and a lot of times this just gives us the general direction.
You can flip the camera to the back camera so it won't be
Did you say 3
75.
No, that's 3 3/4.
3.375.
375.
375.
3.375
I'm trying to switch
is
it.
the height. All right, now I like to change this to the color
there it is.
of the
Oh,
bag.
hold on. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just moving this around.
Okay. So I like this to resemble my blank just so I can get a color visual too. And then I'm gonna have to cheat, guys, because I don't really remember the sizes that I made this. But
Oh gosh, I'm trying, guys.
you all to get it. I also feel like very unprepared, which I'm sorry. I don't know why I feel that way. Okay.
It's because you've been off.
Yeah, this is like my first step back into work. Okay, so I measured my cheat and we're gonna make ours 3.75 inches wide. That's gonna be our widest strip. Gosh, I really hope they can follow along with this. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock this. And for the height, I'm gonna make it 13.375 again. And the width is going to be 5.75. 5.75. Okay, so this is my white stripe. I'm going to go ahead and make it white. And then I'm going to duplicate it for our next stripe. First, I'm going to change the color to navy. And I'm gonna have to cheat again. I'm sorry. I should have had these memorized. So I think that they are, all right. Okay.
So let's recap what you've just done.
I'm gonna recap for us. Because basically all I did is make rectangles.
So we have a bunch of rectangles.
Is the size of your base, which mine is 18 wide and 13.375 tall. Then I have my biggest stripe, which is the same height, but only 5.75 inches wide. Then 1/2 inch, or sorry, 3/4, 5.75. And then our next one is 4.5. So that's like, what's the difference there? Why?
Did you say 5.75 and 4.5? So
An
it's
inch
an
and a
inch
quarter.
and a quarter difference.
An inch
with
and a
each
quarter
one.
difference. And then another inch and a quarter smaller. So only 3.25 wide. And then we're gonna go select them all and click arrange, or sorry, align center. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Okay. Then we are going to add a place for our monogram here. So we're going to take a square and we're going to make it into a rectangle here. I am going to cheat again and see how big I made my space here. Just because I liked how this looked and I want everyone to have a good. So let's do 2.75.
Now, this is also something, go back and rewatch this and pause every time she gives you a dimension. Pause, type in that dimension, and then come back. Like, that's how I do, like I love to pause, do it, come back. So if you are getting confused, I promise once you get in there, go back and rewatch this video, pause it at those places, put those numbers in, because hearing a bunch of numbers sometimes can be very confusing to your brain.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's overwhelming.
So I chose my height for this. The width doesn't really matter, but the height of 2.75. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. And then I'm going to select all of them in my layers panel. And I'm going to, oh, I didn't select them. I used the wrong button. Okay, align, center them so they're all at the same place. I'm placing them around where I would like my letters to be, and I think that's pretty good space-wise. So then let's play in the layers panel. So I'm going to select one of them and the white background, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to go to slice. You can also use the combine functions for this, but I just am more familiar with slice, so that's kind of where I feel comfortable.
Okay, Courtney, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Okay.
Because everyone else is going to ask you too.
Sure.
Why did you only choose 2 layers to slice, and why couldn't I just do it all at one time?
Because with slice, you can only do 1 at a time.
Okay.
So I deleted everything that I don't want here, and now I'm going to pull this down in my layers panel so that I can see what I'm working with again. Now I'm going to select one of these gray boxes and my navy. Go down to slice again. And in the layers panel, you can see you wouldn't want this. You don't need this. You don't need this. You just want this. So we're back to square one. Let's move this up. Oh, let's move this up and move this up. Okay. Then we're going to select this square again and the last middle piece, and we're going to go down and slice them. And in our layers panel, we're going to delete our extras so that we're left with this.
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay. This does look like the end result that we are looking for. However, this is having everything layered on top of each other. So in the middle here, you would have 3 layers of HTV all on top of each other. We want it to be 1 layer. So now I need to slice everything out of the layers behind it. So bear with me, we can do this. I'm going to take this first top layer, which is this one here, and the one behind it, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to click slice.
Okay, top layer, middle layer, slice.
Now let's kind of pull them apart a little bit. We've got this one, which we want. We got this one, which we do not want. So we're deleting that. And then we have these side pieces, which we do want. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to center these. And we can use our center button again at the end. And honestly, it doesn't really matter if it's centered on Design Space. Then, I feel like I should have done that the other way.
No, it's okay. You can still do it this way.
I'm going to select the navy here, which goes right on top of the white. I'm going to select that white, go down to slice, and then we got to see what we have again. So we're going to pull it apart. We want this navy stripe. We do not want this. And this white has the blue, what is that?
It has the insides, which we don't want.
Right.
So what you can do,
This needs to go.
nope, go down to contour.
Where's this though? I think I need to get rid of that. Okay. So now we're gonna go to contour because this has the mid. It was a little off somehow.
Okay, let's just go back.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
start
gonna
over.
go back. We're gonna back it up.
Okay.
Where?
I think you need to center everything first and then.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and center. I'm gonna keep backing up.
Okay.
There we go. So we're back to before we did everything. We need to center this all up. Align, center. Perfect. I could see it was off a little bit. Now I'm gonna take this navy and I'm gonna slice it out of the white. So I'm gonna go down here and click slice. And now we have to pull apart what we have. So here, we're getting rid of this middle white piece, and we're gonna place this back. Let's go ahead and align everything center again. Oops, I aligned it at the bottom, align center. Okay, then I need to pull this in front. So it still looks how we want. We need to slice this top layer out of the bottom layer. Go ahead and click slice. Carol, you can totally cut them longer and fold them over the top. Okay, so I'm getting rid of this middle navy piece, and we finally have what we were desiring. So we have this center piece, a little extra navy on the sides with a little extra white on the sides. I'm going to select it all one last time and align it center. So there we have that. Now let's go ahead and work with our font. So I just click text on the left side, and I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to type in the initials that we want to use. This is kind of a monogram, but it's more so just initials because they're all the same height. So I did first, middle, and last of the person that I'm making it for. And then I'm going to go up to system because that's where the maker's going to learn fonts are. And I remember the font name is Vanessa, which we installed already. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Then I'm going to make it bigger to fill the space better. I'm zooming in because I want to see closer what's going on. Whoops. Okay. So it looks to me like I want to ungroup these and space them out how I want them. Because that A was too close to the L for me.
Agreed.
So after I do that, I actually think that I want to move the M a little bit. And I've found that the layers panel is really helpful, especially with the new updates, about moving everything.
Oh, for sure.
Because like sometimes, whoops, if I'm clicking on this L, okay, it worked that time. But literally I was trying to click on this M earlier and it was clicking on something behind it. So when you can go find it in your layers, that makes it a lot easier. All right, so with this, I am going to group these together. And now I'm gonna make an offset, but like a very tiny offset. Like
this is also
barely an
somewhere
offset.
where I love to work with the numbers.
Yeah, because you can change this to like 0.3, where with the toggle, you're not gonna be able to do that, or 0.03. So that's what I'm gonna do there. And then I'm gonna change these to the colors that I want them to. So the top layer, which is the smaller one, I'm gonna do in navy. And then the bottom layer, I'm gonna do, which is the offset, I'm gonna do in white. And that looks fine, but that's not exactly how I want it. I want it kind of off to the side and down a little for this kind of look, which is what I'm going for. So then I'm gonna select what I've got here, not this square, what is happening? Center it up some more, okay? And then back out. All right, so there is what we have, and we are finally ready. I hope that you were able to follow along a little bit here, but if not, just kind of, if you think about it, think what your end goal is, and if you know Design Space, how you're gonna get there. Because that's basically what I did, and I think that if the tutorial isn't like super easy to follow for you, that doing it that way like would just really help you a lot. So, all right, we're gonna go from here, and I need
We're
to
back here.
delete this example.
Oh, that shine is just not cool.
And then we're gonna hide this because we're not actually cutting out the background. And now we're ready to click Make It. We always cut on a mat here and choose your mat size. We're going to cut on a 12 by 24 mat because it is longer than 12 inches. So I'm gonna need a mat.
Okay, will do.
Confirmed.
Got that.
Okay. Now, to save some vinyl here, I'm going to cut this out in the middle here. Actually, I think I don't want to do that. I'm just going to place it next to it this way to save a little bit of vinyl. Now I'm checking on my other things. Oops. Those are not attached. Cancel this. Okay. Just because these letters are grouped does not mean that they're attached. So their spacing on the mat would be wrong. So go ahead and click attach to those that way, and then the offset is already done. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Confirm. I'm gonna flip this around.
You can.
And guys, we're using HTV. So what do you think my next step should be? Anybody have a recommendation?
Me.
What is it, Lauren?
Mirror.
Okay, I've got my mirror on now. All right, perfect. This, I want to move it. Okay. Okay, this looks good. That's mirrored, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, it's not. Click it right
Oh,
here.
okay.
It didn't mirror all.
Whoop. Gotcha. All right. Now we're gonna continue on there. Select our Cricut device. That's not on. And we will prepare our mat. I bet my Easy Press turned off, so I'm gonna turn that back on. We're gonna start at the top,
There we go.
which is our white. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how much we need. Probably about, 14 inches would be good. So I'm gonna line it up at 14. And we're going shiny side down with this because the shiny side is the transfer sheet. So we want that on the bottom. I'm looking for an X-Acto knife.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. I'm not gonna give her 2 seconds. We're gonna use some scissors. Thank you, ma'am. All right, white is ready to go. And we're gonna load this into the mat, or into the Cricut. Load the mat into the Cricut. Get it together.
There's that if you need that as well.
Back in Design Space, we need to click Everyday Iron On. We'll leave it at default pressure. And we're loading that in.
Okay, guys, I've been, let's see, let me go back to the chats. Let me get the chats. Pop these chats out real quick. Is there any way of grabbing all 3 letters and have them all center correctly? Yes, you can do that. You can actually distribute them horizontally and then also center them, or make them sit on the same line. You can do that, and that's something that we can show you later. We can't right now since we're in the middle of this craft, but we can show you later.
All right, I'm gonna take this off the mat and then go ahead and load my next color in.
Sharon said, so I must have Design Space to use my Cricut. Yes, you do have to have Design Space software to use your Cricut, but Design Space software is free. You don't have to have Cricut access, but I feel like a lot of times Cricut makes a lot of their consumers, a lot of the people who buy the Cricut machines, they make them think that they have to have Cricut access. Cricut access and Cricut Design Space are 2 totally separate things. Cricut Design Space is a free designing software. Does not cost you a dime. Cricut Access just gives you access to the files, some of the files that they have within Cricut Design Space. So there is a big difference between just Design Space and Cricut Access. So, Joy said since I did the update, my Maker 3 is no longer connecting via Bluetooth to my MacBook Pro. I would definitely go into my settings and check the settings because I feel like a lot of settings got changed. So I would definitely go in there and check those settings out.
All right, I'm going ahead and weeding this while the other cuts.
I'm gonna come over here and check out the Tic Tac real quick.
Do we have anyone left?
Yeah, we've still got 10 people, or it
Okay.
says we have 10.
Cool.
It got up to like 30 something at one point.
Okay.
Almost 70.
Oh,
Oh,
and then back down.
sorry I couldn't keep their attention. It's not our normal crowd, you know? They probably had no idea what they were tuning into.
Yeah, I mean, we're learning this as well.
Yep.
This is our first time going live on TikTok.
Ever. Right?
Yeah, ever.
And we're doing another live stream at the same time. We're pretty ambitious.
Yeah, live streaming YouTube and TikTok.
Okay, I cut apart my letters and my stripes, and this one is ready to be unloaded.
Oh, somebody did comment on the TikTok and said you're doing well. You're doing so well.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, so let's get our navy. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby today because we had run out. And it's very interesting. It says lower temp, less time.
Huh.
Yeah, but it was the only one, so I don't know, like, I guess they're just going for that on all of their stuff. I don't really know.
So Daisy asks, should I have my design space on beta or live? I would personally go with the live version of Design Space just because I feel like it's a lot less glitchy. I feel like there are some times when you are working in beta that it can be kind of glitchy because like I said, I have said this before, beta is like they're testing with the consumers. So there is an alpha version which is tested in-house. That's where they test new features in-house with people who work with Cricut, their engineers, things like that. And then once they feel like it's okay, it's pretty good to go, they'll put it into beta testing. And then beta testing is where you as the consumer can test some of the new features that they may have. Now, one thing that I think is very, very important if you do want to work in beta, because sometimes there are features in beta that are not in live that you may want to try and test out. One thing, if you are working in the beta version of Cricut Design Space, if you do see something that is glitchy and something that you have an issue with, there is a place to go in there and report an issue, and that is so important for you to do that as a consumer, to report that issue so that they can get those bugs worked out before that version does go live. However, 9 times out of 10, we're going to be working in the live version of Design Space and not the beta version unless we kind of hear through the grapevine, hey, there's a new feature that you need to try out. It's in the beta version, you know? Mm-hmm. So, there was someone else that said, oh, Kelly asked, is there any way to be able to put 2 projects from the My Projects section on the canvas at the same time? Unfortunately, no, there is not. That's where I was saying I wish and it may be the way that they're going, the route that they're going. This is just the first step to get there. I think that with the tabs on the top that eventually we're going to see Design Space where you can have multiple canvases open at one time and then toggle between those tabs.
Yeah, that would
where
be
you
really
could
cool.
do that, but right now we can't.
Okay, I really should have tested this one out before I unloaded it. It seems very thick.
Oh no.
But it weeded. It weeded. Okay,
Beautiful.
We're fine.
That's all we need.
Okie dokie. Ooh. This definitely feels different, this iron-on. Different than any iron-on I've ever felt.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I guess we're gonna see how it works.
It's very plasticky.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But very matte.
Huh.
This is, huh.
Well, we're gonna have shiny matte shiny. It'll be good. It'll be fine.
It doesn't say matte. It doesn't say that it's matte.
Huh.
I like matte. Maybe when it presses, it's not matte.
So we did have someone say that I have been able to open a project, copy that project, and then open a second project and paste it into that, but only on a computer and not on mobile. That is a workaround for that, to moving projects onto one canvas together. You can do that. It's totally doable. I just really wish that we could have, and I think I mean, if anybody works at Cricut and you're watching us live, that is my official request. I would love to have multiple tabs so I can work on multiple things at one time. But then in the same breath, like, Courtney's gonna have 30 tabs open when she's working in Cricut, if that's the case.
Undoubtedly. Until my Cricut design space won't work anymore, my computer won't work, I will just keep opening new tabs.
Yep.
Okie dokie. We got our bag. Does anybody
It's
see my
underneath
pillow?
the other bag.
Okay. Found my pillow. So we're gonna place this inside. Right there in the middle. Looks very lumpy. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna use this as the back, I think. Oh, it is the back. Okay, this side looks
Oh, we
better.
did have a question here on
Okay.
TikTok. Cricut can't go between designs. So you can open up new windows. You can open up a new window with Cricut and go between the windows, but you can't go between different designs like you can in Silhouette Design Space. And then they ask, Cricut users can use Silhouette Design Space. You can use it to design in, but you can't use it to actually cut. You would have to use like the business version and either save the SVG, or you can save it and then open it in Cricut Design Space, but you can't cut from Silhouette Design Studio on a Cricut. But I think you understand that.
Okay guys, I'm doing white first. You want to do your widest first and center it between your handles. Just like this.
Beautiful.
Okay. Like that. Then we're coming in here with our mini easy press.
Oh, wow.
What?
Joy contacted Cricut, and they said that the recent Sonoma update is not compatible with the recent Design Space update, which is preventing Bluetooth connection to a MacBook Pro. That is, which I normally don't use my Cricut via Bluetooth, but that is super interesting because I did update my computer to the new Sonoma, and I think I'm the only one in the office that did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't
Which
update
makes
unless
sense
they
because
make me.
now that I think about it, I feel like I may have tried to connect via Bluetooth the other day, and I was like, it's not letting me. So, interesting.
Okay, we're getting somewhere here. You know when your iron-on is like ready to be peeled up because you'll see bubbles. And with this bag, you'll actually see some texture of the bag through the iron-on too.
But with this, I honestly don't mind it because I feel like
No.
that makes it look truly like hand-painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so same with the MacBook. You can open a couple different windows and use Cricut Design Space in different windows. Yes, that is possible. I would just personally like to be able to have one window open and have multiple tabs in that program.
Okay, I'm gonna cut these apart because I'm noticing that it's not lining up perfect, and I think it's just where there was like where the
Stretch.
transfer tape folded or it stretched or something like that, which I did have to do on my original too. So,
and honestly, like once you have your first layer down, that is something like disconnecting the two sides is going to really make a difference.
Yeah, you do not want your stuff to be crooked on here or like
No.
have gaps or anything like that. Okay. I'm even going to cut these apart like this. Get that where it needs to be.
So like me watching you do this automatically, with me being, you know, the penny pincher that I am,
I know. what
you
you're
knew where I
thinking.
was going with that.
And I had the same thought too.
So like what we for sure want to keep our widest layer, whether that be a white layer or a different color layer, but your wide, W-I-D-E, widest layer needs to stay attached together. Your
Well,
other
I don't know.
layers.
You could do it the other way, don't you think? Like do your middle strip and then build off of the middle.
You could, but I feel like it's easier to center your wide
it
layers
is.
and work in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, if you're comfortable with starting from the center, really and truly, you can save lots of vinyl and just not attach any of the outside strips, because that center strip obviously has to cut out the same.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted, you might have seen me if you were watching. I'm not sure if it was overhead at the time. But I had this middle strip on like this, and I kind of messed up. So I want you to learn from my mistakes. I had this here, I was ironing it on, and I went over here to iron the side, and my white and navy were not covered by a protective covering. So it melted the HTV a little bit. So when you're doing your center strip and the cover is not covering everything, go back and get your cover from your white layer, the biggest layer, and layer it on top too. It'll still be enough heat through both protective layers, but you need to protect your other layers. So I just wanted everyone to be able to see that real quick. And this one too, I'm about to put this down here in the middle. And none of this is covered. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little cover here and cover the top too.
Now, this is something that can be done with leftover carrier sheet. It also can be done with Teflon sheets too, either one.
Yeah. You just don't want direct heat.
We just really like using leftover carrier sheets, honestly.
Yeah. Because they stick too, which is helpful. The
Yes.
Teflon, you kind of have to hold it in place. All right, I'm seeing bubbles, I'm seeing texture. That's good. I'm gonna try to leave this laying down. I'm looking for my letters. Here they are. Okay. Do here.
What else do you need?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how I lined this up. Just like so. It's an offset a little bit. There's also a piece of tape on here. I think it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine. But that heat helped me roll it up. Okay, back in position. Heating. So what are you guys thinking of this project? I know it was probably a little confusing at first, but do you think it's worth the extra design space work for this?
Oh, for sure. I do.
I do. Honestly, it was a little confusing for me trying to figure it all out. So I totally understand. But I think that once you get it, you are going to be obsessed. Your people you're gifting them to are going to be obsessed.
Even more obsessed.
If you sell stuff, I think it's pretty.
This is
I think it's sellable.
so sellable. So sellable.
So
Oh, I love it.
customizable. It's Pretty awesome. I'm really glad that we got to make this project because it was like one of those ones that we weren't sure if we were gonna do it or not.
Yeah, so it's actually been on the agenda for us to do for a while, which is kind of why this is a canvas bag, because it looks kind of a little bit beachy.
Summery, yeah.
Summery, because we've had these for a little while, so this is why, I mean, we were super kind of unsure about it, and then I was like, you know what, Courtney, I think you can do it. I think you're going to rock it, and I'm telling you she did.
So Kelly is asking our thoughts on the 504 vinyl. It's very interesting. I want you to feel it.
Okay.
You want to come over here?
Yeah, I'll come feel it.
It's matte. It cut nicely, it weeded nicely, it applied nicely. It definitely has a different feel to it.
It feels like...
Something.
Give me a second. What is
like
it?
silicone almost.
Yes, very like that. Yeah, it feels very kind of like silicone.
And then feel it like what we did off.
You can see a big difference. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Like, but honestly, let's look at these side by side overhead.
And it's pretty thick before it has a thicker carrier sheet.
Yeah, it does. I want to fold this in. Can they see this, Sadie? I really like the matte though. Like
I know.
The matte looks so good.
It looks different than the rest. So this kind of looks more like one piece.
Yeah.
Where this, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. And now that I've got these side by side, I don't know. Do you start with the inside and work out?
Maybe you do.
Either way, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Either way, it looks really good. Really, really good.